Hello, sociology class. It's Mr. Rio here, and I just making a short intro to this week to remind you of a few things and explain a few things relating to our work and our assignments. Here is our Google Classroom, and first I'd touch on a few general things before I get into what's going on with our class and everything. First of all, I moved the Zoom meetings to Monday and Thursday, 2 o'clock. And I also have a virtual computer lit class I'm going to do at 2:30. So I put them back to back and I set reminders for myself. And so if you're interested, come to that. I tend to review a few things that are on my mind relating to assignments, take some questions. It's a good time if you got questions or just want to just touch base. And so that's optional. You don't have to go to it, but highly recommend it if you're available. I also put on here a phone number. I just recently got something called Google Voice, which gives me a phone number that I could use that's different than my personal number. But it works on my phone just like my personal number, so you can call me, you can text me, and this is the number right here, 269-358-8740. So if that's a good way to contact me, you or your parents or whatever, that's okay. There's also my riom at harpercreek.net. Email is still good too. And which brings me to our classwork. Okay. Now, going back to the very beginning, the first week was just introductory stuff about the course. We had the video, do school skill creativity, and the intro. And probably all but one or two people have done that work, and that was not an issue. We had some people join our class late, as recently as a week or so ago. So if you're one of those people, by all means, get this caught up first. The second week, we started our notes for Chapter 1. Originally, we were going to do them in two parts. That ran into some issues, so I deleted the assignment that was just the first part, and just when it came for the second part due, I changed that to the whole assignment for all the slides. And then connected to that, we have some video assignment that goes with Part 1, and then we had the video, teens, and social media. So was fairly easy week. And if you get an early start on the slides, they're not hard at all. You do maybe 10 a day, 15 a day, and before you know it, you have them done. So, and then the videos here, these are all things that go with that particular chapter we're in. I mean, directly with, like covering people and places and things that are in the notes. So there's an assignment that went along with that. And if you follow the guidelines, and make a good faith effort, you got all your points. So you had to watch, say, the video of Emil Durkheim and then write a little bit about it. If it says write a paragraph is at least 4 sentences. And if you're not sure what to write, you just write something. You just, who he was, where he was from, one or two things he was famous for, a couple facts or example from the video. That's it. I'm not expecting you to cover everything in the video. Just make a good faith effort. If something asks for 2 paragraphs, then you write 2 paragraphs for full credit. That's usually for like video summaries and stuff like that. So make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. What you shoot for the, at least the minimum that requires if you want full credit. Some people put down 1 sentence when I ask for a paragraph, and I've clarified numerous times. Paragraph always means at least 4 or 5 sentences. Okay, I know technically 1 sentence is a paragraph, but that's not what I mean. If I have to say 4 sentences, but it should be clear by now. Okay, so that was from week 2. Week 3, we finished up Chapter 1. So this is the actual slides assignment. Most people had it done properly. I did have very clear criteria up there. You pick whatever theme background you want. And just leave the same background for all of them. You don't multicolor the background. But I want the terms multicolored. So when I put this up here, here's an example. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. The key term should be colored. Now the one mistake, the person that made this one that I'm asking now, is also I want the terms numbered. So that confused some people. So I didn't mark anyone down for not having the numbering in, but I did for people not having the various colors on the term. Like say a sociology got a color there, than a color here. Now you don't have to do all 45 terms or whatever a different color. You can rotate around reds and blues and greens and stuff, but just mix it up a bit, okay? Every slide should have a photo or a graphic. If you're not sure what to do, just do a search for that term or concept and see what's out there. It might be some generic picture of people or something like that, okay? So I just wanted to share a little bit about that so you know the expectation. Some people lost points because they didn't have pictures on all their slides. That includes title slides. And they also make a nice layout, make it look good and do a good job. We had a video here, questions every teenager needs to know. And you can see here, 17 got in, 15. Well, some of these that say assigned, actually when I click, I'm not going to click it now so I don't embarrass anybody, they may actually have it come in late, which I've been pretty good about late work. If I don't get around to grade it for 2, 3, 4 days after it's due, if it's in and done properly at the time I grade it, I've been giving people full credit. Having said that, you never know when I'm going to grade it. It's almost never the next day, to be honest with you. So if you're running 1 day late, you're quite safe. But if you go beyond that, you just never know when I'm going to jump in there and start grading. And sometimes I jump in there, I'll usually wait at least a day, and then I'll jump in there and start putting zeros for all those that are not in. So I know that they weren't in, not just a day late, but often 2 or 3 days late. So make sure you do things on time. If you can't do them on time for some reason, maybe I had a student moving, other students have had come up with some family emergencies or something like that, email me or text me or call me and let me know. If I'm aware of it, I'm much more likely to say, don't worry about it, take a few more days, get it in, be in touch with me, do a good job. And people who are cooperative, get their stuff in, communicate. I do reserve the right and will give people breaks here and there. But you need to be communicating with me. If you're not doing anything, you're not communicating, then I just assume you don't care and you're not trying. And of course, I am making phone calls to parents and guardians. So people fall behind, expect those phone calls. They will be coming, or emails. So it's probably better to work with me than to ignore me. But that's few people. 80% are doing great. Whoop, doing overhead of doing excuse me, announcements there, doing picture day. Don't forget picture day. You can get them today, or for virtual, get them Wednesday. Come in during the morning and get your pictures. We have videos part 2. Again, these are videos directly connected to the notes, and there's an assignment with that. So everyone should have that done and in. And the first couple of weeks I had a fair amount of giving people breaks. That's not going to be the norm at all. After everyone runs out of excuses like I didn't know that or whatever, or I'm new to this or something, those excuses are running out. So, if you want to pass the class and not get a lot of phone calls to your parents and things like that, plus we have to do reports and report students not doing their work. So make sure you're in touch with me and get your stuff done. It's not hard. None of this is hard. Okay. Week 3. Week 3 we finished up the note slides turned in. We had the video there. We had the videos part 2 and the test. Okay, the test was available Friday all day. Everybody knew about it. It was highly publicized. If you did not take it Friday and you did not contact me about an extension, you're already down at least 10% in whatever grade you get. Okay, unless you make arrangements with me, you don't just blow off test day. Okay, and then if you haven't taken it, get in touch with me as quick as possible and we'll arrange a makeup. And if you don't, it'll just be 0 out of 50 points or whatever. So so that's your responsibility. When you do an online class, you have to take a lot of responsibility. You have to get organized. You have to read everything in the stream, read everything on the assignments, and do your best. Now the best way, and I'm sure the students who are really successful in here will tell you, they just break it down. Do one assignment a day, do part of a big assignment one day and part another day. Start well in advance of a deadline. I put these deadlines not to start on the deadline. If I have deadlines for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, don't wait till Friday to start working on it. You know, you got all week. That's the expectation. Okay? And if that doesn't work well, I'll have to put shorter deadlines on some things. I want to give some people some flexibility here. But if that's not working, if people are doing nothing for 5 days and then trying to do everything in one day, and they're not that good at doing everything in one day, then I realize that's not working. We'll have to stagger the due dates, which means due dates coming due sooner, not later. Okay? Now, this week we started Chapter 2, which is all about culture. And I think, I told you Chapter 1 was the least interesting chapter. Not that it was all bad. It covers important fundamentals of what you need to know for sociology, for the foundation, comparing to other social sciences, some of the people that founded it or influenced it. But now everything else I think gets much more interesting. So for Chapter 2, we're getting into culture and subcultures and countercultures and norms and symbols. And we have a videos assignment. Some of these crash course videos you're going to see a lot. They make among the best videos that are short, get right to the point of stuff we're covering in our notes. And believe me, I've looked at a lot of videos on these topics. If they're way worse out there. So, you know, there's people standing in front of an overhead projector talking about the topic for an hour. So a 8 or 9 minute crash course on some of these important topics is, I think, a really good way to do this. And then one video here is on American culture, and what's interesting, it's a video made for non-Americans, for people that are maybe coming here or moving here or new immigrants. So it's explaining our culture to other people. So it's kind of interesting to look at our culture from what may be the perspective of someone else looking at it. So that's part of an assignment. And you notice I put a lot of times you click on the document in the assignment, and then you just start working on it. So I don't have your view as a student, but you would like click up there and open it up and just start working on it and submit it. So that should be pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so week 3 we got culture. We're getting into. We got our notes. You got the slides. Now, instead, we're not doing the slides in 2 parts. But what I did is I may do next week, but don't wait till next week. You know, you got a lot of slides to do. It's a little bit shorter than last week. It's 43 slides, but still a fair amount to do. Do a nice job. You know the guidelines now. Get started on it this week, and do that. Now these few videos that are with the notes are just extra. They're not anything you got to write a separate document for or answer questions on, but they're really short. They're like a couple minutes each, and they go right along with the notes to help you understand that. So for people that are going for doing good in this class and truly understanding it, it's well worth your few minutes to look over these videos. We have a video here, Reimagining America's Cultural Narrative, and it's just an interesting opinion. A lot of the stuff we watch are people's experiences or opinions on various issues, so it's interesting to see some other perspectives. This one here, the guy has his own unique background. He shares cultural background, ethnic background, racial background, and then you just answer some questions and share some stuff with it. And again, if it says 2 paragraphs, that's 2 at least 4-sentence paragraphs each. And if it says opinion for 2-3 sentences, do at least 2-3 sentences. Opinion. Now, opinion doesn't always have to be solely about what they said. It could be about some of the issues they brought up or things like that. So I give you a little bit of flexibility there. And then this one here, one other, these are short, that's 12 minutes. It's just a guy who's from one culture, lives in another, and then travels around and observes other cultures and sees how the same behavior
At this time, can we have all remaining freshmen report to the auditorium lobby?
And sees how the same behavior comes up, you know, is viewed differently in different cultures. So this is an overview of what we're doing this week. None of it's hard. You just discipline yourself, take an hour here, an hour there, work on this here, and you'll easily stay caught up. You'll easily get your work done. If you get stuck on something, or have a question or a problem come up, just contact me as quick as possible. Submit everything on time or even in advance of deadlines, and you'll have a smooth sailing in this class, and you'll get good grades, and everyone will be happy. If you are behind, if you're one of those people that have fallen behind for whatever reason, do both. Do the current work, okay, and do the assignments you're behind on. and be in touch with me. If you care about it, you care about passing the class, be in touch with me. Okay? And this afternoon I'll be making a round of phone calls for those that are behind. So if you want to touch base with me first, that'd be great. And if not, I'll be calling parents and that. So good luck on all this, and just be in touch with any questions or problems. And we'll be back on our Zoom meeting at 2 o'clock on Thursday. Have a great week.